Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, so this is the GOAT regionals for 2022 finals. We have Nicky Taylor versus Andrew Jones. Andrew winning the dice roll playing Chaos Turbo. And Nicky going second using GOAT control. There's also a little bit of anti-meta cards. Andrew fires off a Graceful Charity, drawing 3 cards. He discards a Serpent, some thinking here, and then discards a Golem Sentry. Sets a monster and passes. I think he draws. Plays Graceful Charity. Decides to discard a Scapegoat, some more thinking time. Finally settles on an MST. It's quite a decent opening at the moment. Nicky summons Breaker the Magical Warrior and attacks. It's a Sangan, and Andrew's going to use its effect to grab a Magician of Faith. Andrew doing pretty well on card advantage here. Nicky sets a back row. Next turn, Andy gets Sinister Serpent, activates Pot of Greed, discards Thunder Dragon. His hand's getting pretty massive now. Yeah, and activates an MST, which will be promptly chained with with a Scapegoat, to which Andrew special summons a Chaos Sorcerer, banishing the Breaker. He can now start establishing some board presence of his own. He's got quite a big hand to work with. Sets a card and passes. Nicky sets a Solemn Judgment, Torrential Tribute, and Sakuretsu Armor.
Pretty ballsy move from Nicky, setting all those cards.
Yeah, which gets...
Fortunately, he had the Judgment to save him.
Yeah.
I guess he wouldn't have set those cards if he didn't have Judgment. But still, even with Judgment...
Yeah, sometimes it still hurts.
It's a bit rough. Golem Sentry coming in to do the work, poking over the tokens.
Yeah, he's clearing some good, cards.
Yeah, making some good ground with the token clearing, sets another card.
Nicky, I'm seeing, only has 2 cards in his hand at the moment, so he needs to catch up a bit.
Yeah, not doing so well on the card advantage as Chaos Turbo, I suppose. Well, that's the perk of Chaos Turbo. Chaos Orc coming in to banish the final token. Oh, Magician of Faith. Oh my goodness. Oof. I wonder if he's going to grab back the Heavy Storm. Guess we'll have to see. Torrential. Good play on Nicky's part, because if Andrew adds back the Torrential and Nicky hadn't chained... if Andrew adds back the Heavy and Nicky missed his window, then it would be right. There we go, yeah.
It makes this Heavy Storm hit even bigger. He blows up his own Book of Moon, hits with the Reaper.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking so hot for Nicky at the moment. I don't know how he's going to come back from this.
He's got
Blade Knight's pretty good for the damage, but he's only got those 2 cards. Blade Knight's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and Nicky's going to...
And there we see.
Yeah, so quite a big Heavy Storm coming down there. Nicky's taking out double Tsukuyomi, double Book, Jinzo. You really don't want to be flipping Chaos Turbo's monsters down again, and we can see he's bringing in some face-down monster hate in the form of Mystic Swordsman level 2, Double Knock, and Reinforcements of the Army. Surprising that he's not maiming the copies of Nobleman of Crossout. I think he felt pretty comfortable with Metamorphosis.
Yeah, I don't know. I find that's really interesting. I mean, Metamorphosis being as good as it is, you'd rather just have more outs, right? Over 100%. To Andy's siding. Sides out Kaiku, Magician of Faith, Swords, and Book.
We're seeing that he's bringing in the Zombire the Dark. This is probably to counter, I think, Nicky's only monster that we really saw him drop with a threat is Blade Knight. So he's probably... countering the Blade Knight with a combination of Roto, Sakuretsu Armor, and Zombire the Dark, with Mobius obviously rightfully sided in as well.
A little bit unconventional to see Chaos Turbo maining Swords of Revealing Light there.
But yeah.
Strong opening from Nicky with pot draws 2. Oh, pot graceful. Beautiful.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
So on to a really strong start here from Nicky, and he's already on the back foot. Discard Sinister Serpent and Saku. Sinister Serpent being probably the best discard.
Because
alone
allows you to get back your card advantage pretty well. Again, setting 3. Even with Judgment sometimes. I think that was, if Nicky maybe had played like one back row at a time, he could have done a lot better.
Yeah, because the heavies wouldn't have blown him straight out of the water like it did. I think Nicky does need to learn a bit of conservation.
Exiled Force, yeah. Hitting a Sanga and maximum rewards.
Oof, punished.
So, Sangan, I see, we do see that Andrew actually had a copy of Nobleman of Crossout in his hand, which, would have done a little bit better than Exiled Force.
Yeah, I must say, that was rather questionable.
He's maybe saving it for a Magician of Faith, as most players don't set Magician of Faith immediately. But yeah.
True, but I feel like you'd rather then save the Exiled Force for the 1,000 dies and knock the face downs.
Yeah. Okay, so Nicky drawing, I think, what looks to be a Scapegoat. No, it's an MST, I think. Adding back the Serpents. You can see who's in control of the card advantage now. Nicky's got 9 cards to
work with.
Yeah, and Andrew's got literally,
I think 4 or 5?
5 cards. And he's now got like the 4 in his hand. Nicky's just like, he's got
steamrolling
all the card advantage. Sangan's a very good summon in this situation. I feel like if you're facing a lot of back rows, it's also, we see another correct play. You summon the Sangan first and then you activate Nobleman of Crossout. It's to play around cards like Torrential Tribute. So the Judgment negating the knock there is telling us that it's telling us that what was set was really big, which was the case. Because now, it was a Magician of Faith and it did get back the Graceful Charity. Nicky's advantage is just exploding right now. I think Nicky's... So, game 1, if he didn't go down to 4,000 life points, let's say, for example, there was a world where he set, like, one back row at a time. I think he could have, not felt the pressure of his life points so quickly. Wow, Nicky's climbing right in. So, Chaos Sorcerer banishing the Sangan to deny a search. Yeah, Andrew's got, I think, still
3 cards.
Yeah, 3 cards.
Yeah.
It's not looking so good for Andrew. I think, if... Assuming Nicky is saving the Solemn Judgment for something really big here. I do remember Andrew recalling this match, and he was stating the relevance of a Ring of Destruction in this matchup, which could have been a nice opportunity. Here we see a Solemn Judgment hitting the Snatch Deal. This is probably where the Ring of Destruction scenario came up, because Nicky is on 2,000 life points right now, and we see him add back a Sinister Serpent. He top decked a BLS, but there's no Dark in his graveyard at the moment. There's just Magician of Faith.
Yeah, that Snatch still coming in really clutch for baiting out the Solemn, but
this is getting pretty disgusting. So Nicky's flipped the second Magician of Faith to add the Graceful Charity.
About to resolve his 3rd Graceful Charity.
Yeah, it's even better than Pot if you have Serpent.
Just because you get to dig extra deep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 9 cards plus the Pot. He's 11 cards deeper than Andy is into his deck right now, just off the pots and the graceful.
Yeah.
And 11 cards is a big number if you're digging for outs and all those things. Explains why Nicky's just had the outs for Andy's cards.
Yo, going big into the think tank for the second discard here.
I think a situation a lot of GOAT players find themselves in. It's not as easy as it might seem a lot of the time.
We have a Mystic Swordsman level 2. We know that he does have a Solemn Judgment face down, so he can protect his face up attack mode Magician of Faith with the Solemn at least. I forgot what the other back row was. I think it might be a Sakuretsu armor. We did see Nicky already discard a Sakuretsu, indicating that he probably has battle protection. You can see Nicky very scared to commit too many cards. I mean, there's no point of setting Scapegoat there. It's just gonna be dead if it gets MST'd.
I think he is also, it's a bit of a fear from a Lightning Vortex, because he knows that Andrew would probably use it against him, given the amount of goats and bodies that Nicky's deck can commit to the field. Lightning Vortex would be a pretty yikes card.
Yeah.
But he does have the Solemn to stop it, so...
He did also just top deck a Book of Moon right now.
Strange that Andy chooses to set into the Mystic Swordsman.
Yeah, it might be a combination of I can't really stop what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna try, or I know the Mystic Swordsman there, but I'm gonna set a back row to stop the Mystic Swordsman. Of course, we know that Nicky has Solemn Judgment face down, but he also does have a Book of Moon in his hand, so he does have many options of
many ways to skin a cat.
Yeah. So Nicky's going to move in with the Mystic Swordsman. He's going to take out a Sinister Serpent.
And there we see the Battle Trap.
Yeah, so Sakuretsu armor, probably the one that Andrew sided in. For use of the Blade Knight is now being used to shield himself from the Chaos Orc.
Pity you didn't see it earlier, because wow, that Chaos Orc has been doing damage to Andy's field.
We see the chain book come down here. It does make Sork vulnerable to Nobleman of Crossout, but I think you'd rather have it on the field face down than just not have it at all. The other scenario is he would have had Book of Moon face down now and a Chaos Sorcerer removed, and then with the ability to Book of Moon is Magician of Faith, which I think would be a bit overkill.
Yeah, considering he's already drawn so much, he doesn't have to resolve another Faith just yet, anyhow.
We see another T-set attempt from Andrew. Pretty much saying that I do have something for the Mystic Swordsman.
There's no more Mirror Force though. Flip summon.
There might be a Mirror Force.
Okay. Nicky MST'd it in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Where's it?
Sure. You can do multiple things here. I think attacking with Mystic Swordsman without changing the game state too much is the best way.
Yeah, I mean, why overcommit if you don't have to, right?
Yeah. We're not fearing any Mirror Forces anymore, so as long as he's not summoning any more monsters, he's not playing into Torrentials. That Sinister Serpent has been chumping some damage for Andy, which must be nice for him. But there are very few ways. I think if Andy had like a giant Trunade and a Ring of Destruction, Andy's also starting to run low on life points now. Even though Nicky's on 2,000, he's firmly in the driver's seat for this one.
Yeah, plus the card advantage on Nicky's side is just, yeah, life points don't matter too much in this duel. Unless we do see a ring, that would change things. There's the Lightning Vortex we spoke about earlier. coming down.
It does come up. Huh. Does Nicky Solemn this? It would take...
I think he has to. I guess he doesn't have to, but...
It would take a tremendous amount of fortitude to Solemn it. And yeah, he lets it go. So Nicky feeling pretty confident. He does have the BLS in his hand, and the lightning vortex just put the extra dark that he needed in his grave. He does have Solemn Judgment face down, and I think Andrew is low enough to die to a BLS attack. He does try to Raigeki break it. I think it just gets snaps on him, and that'll be game 2. We go down to
Nicky.
Yeah, we go down. We get to game 3, this has gone down to the wire. Yeah, so here we have game 3. Wow, these mats are looking really great. I think also with the contrast of sleeves, both players happen to be using colors that just make Thunder Dragon's colors pop a lot more. Andrew going first this match, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, and he opens up some spice pot. Sure, these players have been extremely fortunate to see Trinity as much as they have in the past 3 duels.
Yeah.
Are we going to see a duo? A duo's been surprisingly scarce during this match so far. I wonder if we'll get a late game duo.
Yeah.
Always leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth. Kind of glad we haven't seen it in the finals.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen any delinquent duos recently. Andrew also didn't open up any Trinity last game where Nicky just saw all of it. It was pretty hectic.
Blade Knight doing some work.
Yeah, so Blade Knight denying Magician of Faith's effect to get back the Pot of Greed allows Nicky some good opportunities to get into the duel.
A little bit of breathing room, because otherwise, sure, looping that pot would have been devastating.
He does get hit with an end-phase MST, hitting the correctly hit Scapegoat, which is in the guidebook of how you beat goat control, as they rely on goats so much. He does, however, leave him with a copy of Solemn Judgment. This Blade Knight is only 1,600 right now, as Nicky has 3 cards in his hand.
Nice, Nicky being really patient with the Judgment there, which I think pays off. Although the Sook drop's pretty big. I wonder if Nicky kept the Judgment because he had an out of the Snatch deal in his hand. That's now irrelevant.
Yeah, so he Andrew now just owns this Blade Knight permanently. Yeah, the Tsukiyomi is going to continue coming down. He knows that the Tsukiyomi is an instant out to Thousand Eyes, so I hope his strategy is not to summon to summon Thousand Eyes. He sets a Sangan.
Yeah, that would be quite a finals blunder.
Sangan pretty good against Blade Knight. Because obviously I think Andy would want to just attack with Blade Knight itself and not summon an additional monster to keep the Blade Knight's effect live. But then he doesn't know that there's a Sangan. Oh, no, I'm wrong. He doesn't care about flip effects.
Yeah, ripping cards too good. Who cares about anything else, right? Ooh.
But he just had the knock anyways.
Andy getting really rude with his card drops at the moment.
It does actually prompt a Solemn Judgment. I think it's actually correct.
Fair enough.
To Solemn here.
I think so too, because the Sangan's at least gonna help you grind and get some value, or fetch you something to help grind against your opponent's board, whereas just letting that go through.
It also gives Nicky another the Sinister Serpent that he's adding to his hand. The opportunity for Spirit Reaper to miss the BLS in Nicky's hand.
There's 50%.
He's got
3 cards, 30%. Let's go. So statistically, the Serp's not gonna get hit, unfortunately. But we'll see. Maybe luck's on Nicky's side. He's got 4 cards. Okay.
Yeah. Bang. Okay, so we did see that he had 2 copies of Metamorphosis. So he's still got 1 Metamorphosis right now. The incorrect play here, I think, would be to summon Thousand Eyes knowing that Tsukiyomi's in hand. He has 0 light in grave, so he does have this play. It's a little bit desperate, but seeming as he's just solemned, and he's solemned, he's behind on the board. I think the only play that I can see that he can make is summon Magician of Faith, crash into the Sangan, drop BLS, and call Prio to banish the Blade Knight and special summon it in defense.
Oh, I think you meant crash into the Spirit Reaper.
Sorry, Spirit Reaper, yeah.
Oh, but he chooses to go for...
That's also another good play.
1,000 Eyes into Tsukiyomi, doubtful.
But if he's thinking about maybe getting Raigeki braked or getting ringed, then it becomes a good play, weirdly enough. However, on the surface level, it's definitely not a good play. Knowing the Tsukiyomi. Nicky just thinking about position that he wants to summon it there. They're probably discussing something like priority, and it does get chained with a ring. Weirdly enough, that ended up playing out for Nicky, because now his BLS is live, which I think he is going to exploit.
Yeah, he has to drop it here and banish the Spirit Reaper, otherwise it's just going to pitch the BLS.
He can go, if he's confident that that's maybe like a Dust Tornado or something, it's probably a Raigeki break, in which case BLS is dying anyways. If that's the case, then I think he should banish the Blade Knight, because he's on 4,000 life points. He's got Sinister Serpent in hand, so I don't think he needs to worry about Reaper. Yeah, I think Nicky is considering what are the chances of... Yeah, so he does choose to banish the Blade Knight. It's quite a good play. End phase, summon Magician of Faith. I have a feeling there's some
He's got a
shenanigans.
Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, Tsukiyomi, boom, boom.
Snatch Steal,
Yeah.
game. And there we have it.
That'll be all she wrote. That was the
Quite a
finals.
steamroll.
Yeah, and there will be another finals later in November, on the 6th of November in Cape Town in Pandemonium Games. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video and you would like more videos like this. And we'll see you next time, guys.